Happy Friday Eve. Happy Friday Eve. Happy Friday Eve. How is everybody Friday going as we set up the live stream? We got a couple of stories and we almost done with the week. We're almost done with the week. This will be the first week we are not live streaming on Friday. We will actually drop a pre-recorded video that I would do as if I was live streaming, but it's pretty much just gonna be a school review Friday. And I did some data analyticing, if I said it right, some data looking, check the patterns. And it looks like a lot of you all don't watch the live streams on Friday. And that's okay because that's why we go through, change things, keep going. That's what you're supposed to do. And find out what do the people want. And that's what it's about at the same time. So looking forward to that. And then Friday, well, Thursday, today, Thursday. I hope everybody Thursday has been normal. I don't really have nothing, I think, spectacular to say before we get into it. I hit the desk again. I always do that. I don't have anything, I believe, any spectacular, anything. If you have anything, let me know in the chat. Disclaimer. And so it's been a normal day today. Thursday is always like normal and not crazy because it's Thursday. It's Friday Eve, so let me see. All right, quick. As I set that up. Did my phone going to? Yep, it did. I don't think nobody gonna call me right now, so excuse me. Sorry I can hear that. I'm like right next to the window. Disclaimer. The video is presented here for informational purposes only. Remember, by the time you see this video, this live stream, it will probably be 2027, 2028, or a couple of days later. And remember that a lot of changes in higher ed are happening as we speak. So remember to follow up with the institution you are interested in going to your college, university. Consult with that financial aid specialist, the academic advisor, because they will know what's going on more in current time with that institution that you are considering. And remember that I am only speaking from my experience, speaking on behalf of Creator. And I just want you to save so much money in college that I don't want you to sue me either. Disclaimer. So now that we got that out the way, let's get into what we have to talk about. Reducing student loans. Well, first, let's start with our SHIO. Y'all can't see it, but I'm gonna give y'all something to look at right quick as I pull it up with the loud noise next to the window, right? Let me see. Put some sound on there just in case. All right, perfect. So before we get on that, that's what we're going to talk about. I have to go through SHIO. SHIO always drops the updates between Chronicles Higher Education SHIO. They be very close with similarities, which is good, which means we're getting the most update information we could get. So national policy for today. Report by SHIO, strengthening state institution collaboration for student success. That was like a document I took a look at. It wasn't nothing crazy. Report title. Looking at my tattoo. Title 4 accreditation, regulatory capture and competition. That's something about veterans, education. Report understanding college accreditation's current weaknesses through a historical lens. Because remember, accreditation is supposed to be changing. They're supposed to be doing a lot of overhauling, as they've been saying. So we haven't heard nothing though. Because last week on my calendar, let me see. I think it was last week. Yeah, last week they had the Department of Education AIM committee. They had that last week to determine about the accreditations. But we didn't hear nothing. I haven't heard any posting. So they supposed to meet again next month in May, but I didn't hear nothing. No posts, nor nothing, which is interesting. No videos, no conference notes, nothing. Treasury's first bite of the $1.7 trillion student loan headache. That was by Politico. You need a pro subscription. I don't have a pro subscription with Politico. State policy. So Iowa Board of Regents set to approve elimination of multiple programs at Iowa's public university. So real quick, just a glance at that. Hold on right quick. Y'all see I was looking up Linda McMahon and stuff. My search history. So according to, we get a video. Let's play this real quick. So is she okay? Did y'all see that? So apparently, sure. So apparently, remember that we said with President Donald Trump, the Trump administration, they are telling the Linda. It's first I said the President Donald Trump administration is telling Linda administration what to do, but Trump administration is telling the Department of Education to overhaul programs that do not provide a return on investment. I think it's a good idea, but schools are actually doing it. Schools probably used to say, yeah, they're getting rid of, man, I'm gonna be real. Schools were never getting rid of programs. If they had 4 students in it, they were going to keep it because, I don't know, they was going to keep it because they felt like for some reason, if we say we had this program, we are getting students when, results show that we're not getting students. And Iowa is following through on that. So we're going to play the video. I'm letting them do their talking. This is part of one of the updates by one of the state policy updates. So let's see what they're talking about.
Xfinity's in the mobile game and with
advertisement. I can't win today with these advertisements. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me mute it. Grant. All right, perfect. All right.
The Iowa Board of Regents is set to approve eliminating multiple programs at Iowa's public universities. The board says the programs have low enrollment and declining student interest. 7 programs at the University of Iowa and 3 at the University of Northern Iowa received initial approval from the committee today. Programs targeted at U of I include applied physics, gender, women's, and sexuality studies, and classical languages, among others. The 3 programs targeted for removal at UNI are graduate programs. They include master's degrees in industrial mathematics, psychology, and teaching English in secondary schools. A full board vote is scheduled for tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I think out of everything I heard in there, it is no surprise, real quick, just going through this real quick before we jump into the main stuff. It's no surprise they said universities are struggling with declining enrollment. And the Board of Regents said programs have low enrollment and declining student interest. So when you have programs that are low enrollment, these are preventing you as a student from enrolling in these programs. Like I say, we're independent. We don't really get caught in Democrat or Republican, but in reality, I think this is a great thing that so far, one of the good things the Trump administration is doing. Of course, I don't agree with everything, but one of the good things they are doing is preventing you from taking courses or enrolling in programs that are for sure not going to get you a return on investment. And so that's really important because schools have been, as I say, the presidents, the executive levels of these universities, their staff, their executive team, whatever you want to call it, makes millions of dollars, close to millions of dollars, while you as a student make nothing when you graduate. And so they're actually having to do some work now that makes them work because these programs are not enrolling students or return on investment. Why is it there anyway? So they saying that programs treated at U of I include applied physics, gender, women's and sexuality studies. And we already know why they're getting rid of that. We already know why they're doing that. I don't think I have to reintroduce why that's happening. If you've been rocking with us, you know what the Trump administration, Department of Education, what they've been doing. And so, but Classical languages, I don't know what I remember talking about that before, still never quite understood it. And then they say among others. I don't know why they didn't say, they say applied physics. That's crazy. Physics is pretty important. And then it said the 3 programs targeted for removal at UNI. I wonder what UNI is. They should have said the school. Did they say the school? University of Iowa, got to be. The 3 programs targeted for removal at University of Northern Iowa are all graduate programs. They include master's degrees in industrial mathematics, psychology, and teaching English in secondary schools. Oh, they say at graduate level. I think that's good to get rid of psychology on a graduate level because you can get there on your bachelor's and you really don't need to get a master's in psychology because most people get a master's in psychology, not master's. Most people get a master's and they get a bachelor's in psychology and get a master's in something else. Something that's close to being a therapist in that case, but I don't know exactly. So I'm not going to say it. But that's it. So more schools are closing down. More schools are not closing down. More schools are closing programs, as they would say, consolidating their programs so that they can really focus on programs that provide a return on investment. So with the updates from Iowa, LA, is it Louisiana? Louisiana's lawmakers weigh overhauling or possibly ending Louisiana's higher education oversight board. Louisiana college president searches. Should Louisiana college president searches be secret? A bill is raising transparency concerns. As we know, that's definitely a political situation. Oh, my bad. I'm not giving y'all something to look at. Who is this? Nebraska. Amid the Department of Justice lawsuit, Nebraska poised to end in-state tuition for non-citizens. That's another thing the Trump administration has been doing. And if you are a non-citizen, they have been making it very hard for non-citizens to go to college and get in-state tuition. And if you don't know, I tell you this all the time on the live screen: do not go to school out of state because you are going to pay significantly more money, like quadruple more, like 40 grand a year easily at a cheaper school. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I never even took a Google search to even look up like why do they charge so much more for out-of-state tuition. Should be something I should just look into, but I might do it this live stream. We'll see. Nevada. It says Nevada, but Nevada. That's right. Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada. Bad at math. A new approach in Nevada colleges is easing pain for some students. Ohio, Ohio. Y'all know Vismic Ramasamy? Y'all remember him? Let me show y'all him. Yeah, do y'all remember him? Because apparently he's doing something in Ohio. I thought he was in Florida. If this is the same guy, I thought he was in Florida for sure. Let me see. Yeah, for sure thought he was in Florida, but I could be wrong. So do y'all remember this guy? Razamami, if I say it right. He was he was a thing. He tried to run for something. Entrepreneur, politician, be talking about crypto and all this, whatever jazz. So he's doing something. Is he from Ohio? He is. Oh, he's from Ohio. I thought he was from Florida. I guess he was just helping out in Florida. Okay. So this guy right here apparently has something going on. Going back to it. Is still focused on shutting down subpar Ohio universities, which is something we should look into. What is considered a subpar university? Because I feel like I went to a subpar university as well, and I'm trying to figure out what's his definition of subpar. But he's trying to close down some Ohio universities. Food pantries in Ohio college campuses help students experiencing food insecurity. Tennessee press release: Tennessee tops nation in FAFSA completion, on pace for 10th consecutive year at number 1. Shout out to Tennessee. Tennessee bill would require American history course in colleges. I'm a little confused. Isn't everybody required to take American history? I guess that's a Georgia thing, because in Georgia you got to take history in college. So that's why I guess I'm a little confused. So okay, interesting. And those are updates. Now we can get to the main thing. Some Grad Plus borrowers could face loan caps. So as you know, on the live screen, we've been talking about loans and how the Department of Education, Trump administration want Big Beautiful Bill. has a lot of changes coming in July for you, especially if you are at a university, especially if you plan on going to graduate school. Not them telling you have 2 out of, y'all know they've been telling me that for a while. I get, I'm not logged in, that's why. Okay. And so these changes are going to come, I guess you could say, smooth when you're trying to go advance yourself, like in med school, law school, doctoral school, PhD school, whichever type of schooling, right? And in that, they're saying some borrowers with an existing grad plus loan may starting, I don't know why they said may, but grad plus loan starting July 1st, no longer be able to take out more than $257,500 in federal loans. The education department said this week. And so as I keep going, because I read through it a little bit, I was trying to avoid jargon as much. But as we said right here, which stem from an updated interpretation of the One Big Beautiful Bill, is making it difficult to keep college aid officers up to speed so they can properly advise students and provide accurate financial aid offer letters. And that is one of the things that's so important that is overlooked in this career field. Kind of nerdy, right? But honestly, financial aid doesn't know. And if your financial aid doesn't know, they're not going to tell you they don't know, but they're going to tell you to, they're just going to be cautious. Like, we're not sure because with the recent changes to the administration and blah, 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 because there's times I have to say that. Like, hey, due to recent changes in administration, heads up, this could be happening. It's from the source. This is not my opinion. This is from the source. And so they said that they also add that it could be crippling for some current borrowers who started their post-bachelorette degree depending on federal loans as a means to pay their tuition and fees. Now, depending on what you're going to school for, this is one of the reasons. Now, if you're in this current moment, it is going to be a tough and challenging way for you, which might require you to resort to private student loans, which is not really good because your school works in cahoots with banks, and banks work in cahoots with schools because banks' jobs are to loan money. That's their job. So for you to reduce your loans, really dodge loans, evade loans, is to start at a community college. It's one of the reasons why you should definitely get an associate's degree. Use that to go work sooner and make money, better money sooner, and then turn your associate's degree into getting a bachelor's. And then as you do that, you get your bachelor's, you should work for a little bit before you go off to grad school, doctoral school, whatever type of graduate school. You should work a little bit before going in, unless you just been stacking your money from the time you got your associate's degree. How do I know? I'm giving you my experience and what I did. When I went to graduate school, I had my own money to pay for it. Now, I didn't go to a very expensive graduate school, which I could have. I chose the most affordable one, or one of the affordable ones. Like Georgia Southern was one of the most affordable. Like they were a lot cheaper than Georgia State, but Georgia State was just closer to, I knew I was going to end up going to Georgia, like to the surrounding Atlanta area. So I was like, might as well go to Georgia State, and I'll have people who work at these other institutions, hopefully, who can hopefully help me get a job. Because I know people at different colleges now that was in my program. So that was the strategic thought I was thinking of. I was not prepared for the traffic. I knew the traffic was terrible, but didn't know it was this bad. Didn't know the traffic was so consistently bad. So as we keep going, Grad Plus loans, which was historically available to all students pursuing a master's degree or higher, as we just said, allow students to borrow up to full cost of attendance. But Congress terminated the program last summer when it passed the OBBA, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, and in its place established new limits on federal lending. And so now that you have, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Oh, hold up real quick. That includes capping how much money any borrower can take out in a lifetime of $257,500. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am in like full support of capping the federal lifetime limit of borrowing. If we're talking on a grad level, now some people might say, "Yo, it's too expensive to go to grad school or some type of grad school, right?" Yo, if I knew I was working in higher education, I knew I was going to higher education. So I'm not finna go to the most expensive higher education school or the most expensive university to get my graduate degree. I understand my career field is very political. If you haven't heard me talk about the Ben Sass story, the John Soto story, like, guys, people get put in positions based off who they know. That's part of my career field. The public or the community has to like you in some form or fashion or know of you to even put you in certain positions in the university. Why? Because that's part of the history of universities. They're tied into politics. So when you understand that, it's like, why would I go spend so much money on school? Now, if you want to go to, now I don't know, but I can't speak for medical. I would definitely have to bring people on who understand medical better than I do. But let's be real. If you go to a med school, how many of us asked the doctor where you went to school? I'm probably the only person that asked recently when I left the ER who asked the doctor, the emergency doctor, like, hey, where did you go to school to get your what I say? Where did you go to school to get your what's it called? Where did you go to school to become a doctor? And they look at me sideways because like, why are you asking me that? You don't think I'm it's kind of making it's kind of like you assuming they don't know what they're doing. But no, I'm just curious. I got my master's in higher ed, so I like to ask people where they went to school because you know you are doing life-changing work. So where did you go to school? Was your school accredited? Was your school like, have I heard of this school in some form or fashion? And so $257,000. I remember going through the physical therapy program and seeing that like it's a bit difference in pricing somewhere in some places. Now, should you go out of state? Now I know we're going down a different rabbit hole, but should you go to school out of state when you're trying to go and get something on the graduate or doctoral level? It depends, because at that point you're already going to pay out of pocket, but you should consider who's giving you the best deal. Like some schools, as I looked at before, I forgot the name of the school on the live screen, but they literally had a law program that was offering money to people who was coming to their school, and they was letting you be part-time while they was going to pay you money to go to their school. So see, you got to shop around and see what deals are out there. If you did what I did, I just procrastinated at the last second. I knew about 2 schools, and that was because Al was thinking about those 2 schools. That's the only reason I thought about going to them schools for grad school. And you don't want to be like me at the last second trying to procrastinate like what graduate school you want to go to. That's something you should be mapping out a year ahead, 2 years ahead before you even get done with your bachelor's. So the 257,500, I was in support of it because it makes you save your own money and consider investing your own money while you're in undergrad. I think every student should get a financial advisor while they're in college. Hopefully one they can trust and invest in the index fund. Disclaimer, not a financial advisor, but I do think most people should do that because when you do that, you get compound interest, as they say. You just constantly keep putting money there, taking your money from your associate's degree, and you just put money there. How I know? That's what I did. That's like, it's not really hacking. I don't want to use that because I got a whole spiel to talk about that. But it's really like you are protecting yourself against the worst. Because like I said, you never know. Maybe they might take away the whole grad plus loans. But I know that would never happen because that could be detrimental to the workforce. But at this point, anything can happen, right? So always protect yourself and be kind of like, be independent for yourself. So as we keep going, I think that was one of the main things right there. And then I'm going to quote this person right now. They said, it sounds like a lot, but not for a student who's in a long and expensive program, said Jill Dejean, Director of Policy Analysis at the National Association of Student Financial Aid Administrators, which first flagged the change in policy. You can burn through the amount of money in a couple of years. I did not burn through that amount of money in a couple of years. I'll be honest with you. I didn't spend $257,000 in college, my whole lifetime in college. I spent under $50,000, me personally. And so I feel like most people could do that if they started a 2-year, which is like you can literally go to a 2-year and spend less than $10,000, depending on what state you're in. Then if you go to university, that's only 2 more years. You see? And then if you don't get a meal plan, don't live on campus, you're cutting your cost of college down by significantly a lot. So this person who is saying that, it's like, really, it goes back to some people just don't know how to like really manage money. manage their own money sometimes. That's why they feel like you need all this money to go to college. And then you ask yourself, who does this money go to? If I pull out $257,000 in money, and then I'm still needing more money, who are you going to get that money from? Remember, I said before, your university has a partnership with a bank. I said that. That is called a preferred lender arrangement. That is in the Higher Education Act. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that if you understand the Higher Education Act, which that's why I went to, that's what I'm for, guys. You don't have to go look at that document. If you understand the Higher Education Act and you know, like, oh, my university is in partnerships with a bank, so they literally want me to go to the bank, get the money, and bring it back to the university. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start a 2-year. And then I'll be putting the data out there. They're saying more 18 to 20-year-olds are going to 2-year colleges. Parents are wondering, should you major in computer science? We talked about it last night. Should you major in computer science? No, you shouldn't. Because of AI. Then what I do? I brought up President Obama, former President Obama, and what he said. You probably need to be like a top 1%er in coding to be okay. You should get a liberal arts degree. Liberal arts degrees don't pay much. Over time, they do. As you get older, wiser, more experience, your income naturally, gradually goes up. That's the beauty of a liberal arts. That's why you have Columbia University. That's why you have it. They're very liberal arts. One of the best in the world, one of the best in the world. Yeah, one of the best in the world. And so, well, it's not better than my schools I went to. Let me correct that. I gotta make sure I stand on that. But you get where I'm coming from. So at the first, the education department, which was tasked with interpreting the law and ironing out its details, said this meant that existing grad plus borrowers, regardless of when they finish their degree, would be exempt from the lifetime loan limit. I don't know. Don't expect me to know all the loans, guys. I don't know all the loans, but that was formalized in the department's proposed regulations, which have already undergone public comment and have since been reinforced in multiple guidance materials provided by the Office of Federal Student Aid. And at the end of it, wait. Okay, I thought I was almost done. We're not almost done yet. So right here in quotations, the department is in the final stages of rulemaking, which will address these comments and other issues raised by members of the public on the purpose rule. Ellen Keast, the department's press secretary of higher education, said in a statement to Inside Higher Ed. And then did we read? No. The change was first noted verbally as part of an OBBA webinar Friday. Sources say it was then written on the webinar landing page, where department officials directly say graduate plus loans will be included in the new $257,500 lifetime aggregate borrowing limit. But as we keep going, I want to get to this part. This is a little more important right here. The department has since provided further clarification, stating that borrowers who received a Grad Plus loan prior to July 1 will be able to continue borrowing under their pre-OBBA loan term. So if you was borrowing money before the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, you can keep doing that same thing. Let's keep learning. Let's keep seeing. So this will remain true for the remaining time until they complete their course of study or 3 years, whichever is earlier. So long as they remain continuously enrolled, all these changes will likely be reflected in a finalized version of the rule, which is expected to drop at least 30 days before it takes effect on July 1. That means that the lifetime limit will only be a concern for students with a Grad Plus loan. Who? What? Grad Plus loan? Who? Literally say who? Who decide to take a break before completing their degree. Hold on. That means that the lifetime limit will only be a concern for students with a Grad Plus loan who decide to take a break before completing their degree, are studying part-time, or are enrolled in a dual degree program and need more than 3 years to complete their studies. Had utilized the Grad Plus program in the past, took out more than $257,500. My goodness. During that course of study, and are now looking to take out federal loans again while pursuing a 3rd or 4th degree. The financial aid did say the change would be cash for. I said that word before. Cash. How you say it?
Catastrophic.
Catastrophic. That's the word. I said that word before, but I could not say it right there. Catastrophic. That's that right? Yeah. For students who are affected, many of whom are likely enrolled in most expensive fields of study. And then they go into like, if those students hit the lifetime loan limit prior to completing their degree, as was explained, they would have to take out private loans or find another means of financing. So when you run out of federal loans, you go to private, as I said before. And private, the worst thing about private loans, as we know, I think this is no secret for my financial people out there who have financial channels, private loans are going to give you worse interest rates. That's the big deal about the schools saying this is a terrible idea. But I don't know why schools even care, because as long they're getting the money at the end of the day, so that they can. All right, the schools are getting the money anyway, so they're acting like they care, but in reality, universities are already doing this to us. That's why we have what, $1.78 trillion of student loan. Frankly, we're going to probably be at 2.0 trillion, or whatever number we get to, unless we start paying it back, and we're probably not. But I'm not getting into that because I didn't go to school for financial literacy. I went to school for liberal arts. So we're probably not going to be able to pay it back. And universities are going to keep doing it. And guess what universities are going to do? This was actually a problem. Universities are going to keep raising their tuition prices. That's what they're going to do. And then they're going to raise their fees at universities. And then people are going to say universities or college is a scam. And it's not, you can say it's a scam, but it's really like they are just doing that. And nobody is stopping these universities. I don't think nobody is going to stop the universities, because we need colleges, we need universities. I think we just need more structure on them, so they don't keep raising it, because they know these kids are going to be going to get loans and bringing it back to the school. So there should be more of a regulation about, hey, if I borrow money privately, the school shouldn't be, it should be a policy where the school cannot. I don't think it is. It's probably old and they probably got around it, but it should be a policy where you cannot raise the tuition and fees on the students, I guess, who are getting private loans. Like specifically, they get charged the amount they were getting charged before they had to go get private loans. And it's possible to do that. Some schools do that. When students transfer from community college, they are charged their 2-year college price when they get to their university. That's possible. So, and then they say right here, that means students who enroll under the impression that they would be able to pay their tuition through low interest rate federal loans could be forced to stop out, like we just talked about. And then quotations right here, if they got the degree, they could afford to pay the debt back. If they don't get that degree, that debt is going to be completely unsustainable. That is a really frightening prospect to me. And then she noted, and then at the end, I always like to read the last paragraph before we go to the next topic. When significant policy changes are rolled out without clear, formal, and widely distributed guidance, there are severe consequences that directly affect students who need definitive answers now in order to make plans to pay for college. Guys, in a simple way, that is the president, NASFAA president Melanie Story said in a statement, guys, just start at a 2-year college. If that felt like too much of me reading that, for example, and you like all these loans, all this, just start at a community college. Find out who that university has a partnership with that's a community college near you, and go there. Then you could just go to your university for 2 years. Save yourself the hassle and the worry. Like, until they get it figured out, 2 years. And then once you get your associate's degree, like I did, I got my general studies associate's degree. Literally, I got them at the same time before I transferred, because I intertwined them together. But I got them at the same time because I said, well, I don't want to take that when I get to university and my 2-year offer it. So I might as well just take it at my 2-year. I had to take biology at my university I was about to transfer to. And I said, well, I'd rather just take it here at my 2-year for cheaper. You can do that. Just because you get your associate's degree doesn't mean you need to transfer. You want to transfer eventually, but you transfer when needed. And then if you say, well, I want to go ahead and be in my program, Henry, I want to go ahead and start my university, then become a transit student. That we have a video on that, but of course I'll make a newer one. But be a transit student, a transient student. What's a transient student? Well, that's when you're at one institution and you could be at another institution. And you could be at 2 schools at one time. So you could be at 3 schools at one time. You could be at 4 schools at one time. Why? There's no policy on it. Who says you cannot be at 4 schools at one time? There's a lot of things in higher ed. It's like, hey, unless they say you can't do it, you can do it. Literally, they say you can't do it, you can do it. And so, like, hey, you want to start at your university? You could take one class at your university. This is how crazy it is. You could take one class at your university and take the other ones at your 2-year college and still be full-time as long as you're meeting the credit hours, which is crazy, right? It's like that's a real, I guess, hack, but that's a real way to like really knock out your college in an effective time. So you're not just, I'm still at my 2-year. This guy don't know what he's talking about on his live streams. He got me stuck at his 2-year. You have so many moves, like so many tools that's out there in higher ed that if most people knew about them, and if I feel like they push higher ed a little more and we talk about it, it will help a lot of people who know that. But we're just gonna keep being consistent. So that's pretty much it for this topic. Did I read that last sentence? Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking for this button. So that took about 37. That take crazy long. And then the next one I have, I want to say, yeah, let's go and talk about it. Let's go and talk about it real quick before I get to the last one. That was a good look. Good talks, as they say. Good talks. So J.R. Smith is set to get his bachelor's degree. I don't know if we remember this, but I remember this. And JR was about to get I remember he first started at North Carolina A&T. I didn't think he was going to finish. I didn't. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a stunt. This was when I was in college. I think they got it in here. That J.R. Smith. Yeah. So he enrolled at North Carolina A&T in 2021. I remember this because I was literally in my Valdosta. I was in Valdosta State, not on the campus, staying in my apartment off campus with 2 other roommates. Got stories for y'all with those. And I remember this. And I was like, yo, that's getting a lot of attention. I need that marketing team. I need that PR team he got. Because it's like catching a lot of attention. It's catching a lot of headwind. And this is a great thing, man. Like, he really completed his bachelor's degree. The time adds up, which is perfect with like what's the next topic we're going to talk about. So like the time adds up. He started in 2021. It's 2026. So it took him 4 to 5 years, which is accurate. And he really is about to get his bachelor's degree, which is dope. It sets an example, for us to keep remembering why education is important. Hopefully he does more interviews after he gets his degree and explain why or how it shifted his mind. I'm thinking I'm going to interview him. I got some questions. I'm wondering, like, how was it when you first started college? How was you said, I read some stuff and they said you was a little scared to go to school. You wasn't, you had a learning disability, because I have a learning disability. I'm already thinking of some questions. How I'm going to get him, though? Does anybody know how to get J.R. Smith for an interview? Let me know in the chat. Like and subscribe. If you know how to get J.R. Smith or reach him, or a way, because I don't have Instagram. So if you can just please spread the word to him. Speaking on behalf, I want to do an interview with him. I would love to get a 10-minute, 15-minute interview. And just, because he really got his bachelor's degree. And, I'm all for highlighting celebrities who really get their bachelor's degree. I love, like I always say, where my phone at? like I always say, Steve Jobs, the person who invented iPhone, him and his co-founder started at a community college. They took classes at a community college before going to whatever school, or I think dropping out before they built Apple, or they were currently building Apple. And so it's just these little things these little things go unmentioned, that a lot of wealthy people, at least they started a 2-year. And then you have a whole celebrity right here who got his bachelor's degree. Why did he get it? He has millions of dollars, multi-millions. Why did he go back to school? Man, I want to know. So it says, in doing so, he overcame a fear of education that he had developed while he was in elementary school and middle school. It was during those early years that he was bullied in school after being diagnosed with learning disabilities. So that is a thing. I remember going back to speak to schools, high schools, at least literally my alma mater and my rivalry high school, which is crazy. I spoke to them and I tell them that I was in special education, and then I had an IEP. But these kids now are more, I guess you can say, like, I don't know, they seem more genuine, because back then they used to talk about you. Like, that's true what J.R. Smith is saying. They'll talk about you if they found out you had a learning disability, special education. But in reality, now that I'm older, it's really helpful to get extra help. And then it's really helpful. It's really helpful. And so that's all I can say right there with that as we keep going, because it's about J.R. Smith right now. About J.R. Smith. About North Carolina A&T right now. And so in quotations, he said, I know I was pretty decent athletically compared to everybody else in growth and stuff like that, but just mentally, how I function and how I focus and how I couldn't read as good or just comprehend as good as the rest of the kids, I think that was the biggest thing for me. And so professors and tutors have supported Smith throughout his time at North Carolina A&T, Historical Black College and University, HBCU. Why did they say it like that, guys? Because a lot of people who might come across this article, as I say all the time on this live screen, like and subscribe, they do not know about HBCUs. A lot of people don't know about HBCUs. And I got people in my career field, higher ed, and I was in graduate school. People don't know about HBCUs. So I'll just understand why they had to say it. Like, I'm pretty sure this link will take me to what is a HBCU. No, they didn't. I thought it was going to take me to that. But I thought it was going to take me to like the definition or whatever. But yeah, historical Black college and university. He notes that why everyone, oh, my bad, I skipped something. Tutors are so important, guys, that if you are in college or getting ready to go to college, take advantage of your tutors. I didn't have a tutor. It's something I didn't think about until I got older, like reading graduate school work and reading books like by Dr. Benita Love, for example. And that, all right, so you know how we take the SAT and ACT, right? This is why I'm not a fan of the SAT and ACT. Just me in my personal opinion. Because you expect kids, I think this is why they hopefully look at the admissions a little different versus across the board, everybody's the same. Because if you are one of that's from poverty, low income, or middle class, essentially, or you got parents that don't understand the value of a tutor. The same way we go to basketball practice, baseball practice, soccer practice, football practice, or any practice is the same way you should be spending time on your schoolwork. I didn't understand that until I went to college, because when your boy had to go take English 1101, or he had to take the remedial English too, I had to take the remedial English. I was in the tutor and support lab every day till they learned my name. I was in there till I had almost a personal tutor, like, because the tutor worked in there and they used to help me so much with my papers. It's like, when you work with a tutor so much, you're learning how to write your paper, because eventually you're going to always have a tutor, no matter what school you go to. Hopefully you go to a school where they got tutors, but you're going to work with your tutor so much, and it's so important that eventually you won't need them no more. Because it got to the point where Al would review my paper and then she'll critique me and butcher my stuff because I'll just be typing. I got to the point, y'all. She probably know this. I don't know if she know. It got to the point where I would type my paper, and then I know I had errors in it. I'll be using Grammarly. I know I had errors in it, and I just tell her to look at it and fix it because she got A's in English. I didn't get A's in English. I got B's. I never met an A in English. Never met an A in English. Just a B student when it comes to English. I don't know why. And so as we keep going, he notes that while everyone loves a comeback story, he is not seeking external validation, though he remains grateful. Quotation, is really gratifying just knowing that I'm able to continuously accomplish different feats that have overwhelmed me at times in my life, he explained to the outlet. Smith is pursuing a Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Studies. Welcome to the Liberal Arts Club. Applied Cultural Thought from the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. According to WFNY News 2, as Afrotech previously reported, he started off strong, earning a 4.0 GPA during his first semester. He will now, you see how they did that? They just skipped the rest. Like, hey, we don't know what his GPA finished with. I think he had a good GPA, though. He will now receive his degree in spring 2026, which is this semester. And he is also a member of the University men's golf team. North Carolina A&T's undergraduate commencement ceremony will be held May 9th. That's around the corner. They saying the location. Queen Latifah will be a commencement speaker. And then ahead of the ceremony, Smith intends to speak further about the importance of attaining his bachelor's degree and his hope for others looking to follow suit in furthering their education. Is it more? No, okay. That's dope. DOPE. That's dope, man. I was happy to cover that. I'm glad I was able to be live streaming at this time so we can have a picture, a visual, and just remember like why it's important to get your bachelor's degree. Why it's important to get your associate's degree, then get your bachelor's, then get your master's or doctoral, whichever you plan to do. But the only reason I'm so big on getting your bachelor's, y'all, is like I was telling my bro last night, like people say a bachelor's degree is not worth it, but when you want to go work for the FBI, the CIA, commission in the military, or do these other jobs in the world, they require a bachelor's degree. Even kids who, like, prime example, I always tell you, look at Donald Trump's son, Barron. Barron is getting a bachelor's because Barron knows dad ain't giving me no money or dad ain't giving me this trust or whatever I got planned, whatever he got planned for me. I'm not getting it unless I get my bachelor's degree. That might be the only thing he get. But people who are inheriting wealth, people who are trying to get certain jobs, people who are whatever the case might be, have a bachelor's degree. And they might not use it. I promise you, they might not use it. They might not use it. I'm using mine, but they might not use it. Charge it to the game. We walk places that we might not even buy nothing in the store. But we walk in that store, we walk to the store, we drive to the store, charge it to the game. So I was happy about this though. Like and subscribe. And so hopefully more people do follow suit on why you should get your bachelor's degree. Yes. Because I'm like a fanboy when it comes to people getting their education. Like I love recording people on their education. Like I think I'm gonna be the first person to be recording people and following them. I'm gonna try something actually. Now y'all got me thinking. I'm gonna try something. I'm thinking, y'all, I'm probably gonna sneak into a graduation because Alex got a graduation coming up. I'm thinking about sneaking, like I'll be at her graduation and I'll be front row and center. I'll act like a photographer. I'm gonna try to do that, like a videographer, photographer, so I can get like front row seats and just like be recording everything for her up close. Because man, I think that's good. I think they're going to let me pull that off. I don't think I'll be able to pull it off because I might need an ID, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna say, oh, I'm here to record for the school. I need to have some GSU merch or something. I'm gonna try it though. Yeah, y'all just gave me the idea. I be geeking on that. Like really on this education stuff. It's just so important. I'd be really geeking. Hold on real quick. So remember that I said J.R. Smith actually completed his degree in time? It actually took him 4 or 5 years, right? Remember I said that, right? So apparently people, oh, hold on. Students are speeding through their online degrees in weeks. Like and subscribe. People are speeding through their online degrees in weeks. Alarming educators. Guys, before we even get into this, there's no shortcut to getting education. The whole point of you getting your education is to make you critically think. That's the whole point. Make wise decisions, think things through. That's the point of college. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you don't want to go to college, don't go to college. I'm gonna be 100 with you. If you don't want to go to college, don't go to college. It's like me going to a soccer field, basketball court, football field, and saying, I really don't want to be here. I'm just here, but I'm out here. Nobody told me to come out here, but I'm here. I'm out here with y'all. It's literally like that. They ain't have to do them pictures like that. They ain't have to use them like they don't want to be there. They ain't have to do that. So as we keep going, it said it takes most college students at least 4 years to earn a bachelor's degree. Christy Williams finished in 3 months. 3 months is wild. So North Carolina Human Resource Executive spent 2 months racking up credits through web tutorials after work in 2024, then raced through 11 online classes at the University of Maine. So you know what I'm gonna do since we are on this live stream. I'm not finna not go look up the school because I am about to go look up the school, and I'm about to tell you if this school is legit because that's what I do. That's what speaking on behalf do because I speak on behalf of my people. Like and subscribe, man. Shout us out on Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media you have. Tell people to come check us out. Hey, stop by the classroom for like 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Chop it up with us for a little minute before you go back to doing what you're doing. Because tomorrow, Friday, you ain't gonna have time for me tomorrow. So, University of Maine at Presque. I don't know what this is, but University of Maine. It's in Maine. The University of Maine at Presque is a public university in Maine. Not saying that again. It is part of the University of Maine system and one of 2 University of Maine system schools in Aroostook County. It sounds credible, really credible. It's part of the University of Maine system. And what is the University of Maine system? As y'all know what I say, every state has their own, like University of Georgia system, University of Florida system, University of Tennessee system. And so, hold on right quick. I didn't hit the right button. No. Yeah, I see what I tried to do. And they try to make me log in. But the University of Maine system is an agency usually. Let me see. Agency. If I can't find it, I'm going to go back to what we're talking about. I think it's going to do the same thing. Nope, it didn't. So this is the University of Maine system. So this is where I go find the universities right here. This is, I don't live in Maine, y'all, but this is how you find, like, if a school is like really credible, you go to their agency. How would you find this? You would just have to know, like, you have to be in higher ed, honestly. And but you know now because you're listening to me. So this agency is pretty much like, this is for sure, like a school should be highly credible if they're on the Maine's public universities, University of Maine system. And then as I do it, and they got that EDU, when you see that EDU, that means it's pretty credible. But be careful because scammers are out there. So now I'm looking for the University of Maine. I'm looking for, there you go right there. It's right there. Oh, wow. It's pretty credible. Okay. We will get back into that in a minute. So the University of Maine, I do want to go to their school website though. Hold on. I did everything but what I was supposed to do. So this is the school website. Ooh. I got your attention now, whoever just stopped by. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Only higher education channel going to higher education websites. Let me see. Very colorful. All right. So I see how much they charge, but remember, people trying to complete their degrees fast. And so 11 online classes at the University of Maine at Presque Isles and 4 weeks, if I said that right. Later that year, she went back to earn her master's in just 5 weeks. Oh my goodness. Bachelor's in 2 months or whatever. 3-week bachelor's, 5-week master's. The 2 degrees cost a total of just over $4,000. Since then, she has coached 1,000 other students on how to speed through the state college, shaving off years and thousands of dollars from the usual cost of a degree. Why wouldn't you do that? Williams asked. It's kind of a no-brainer if you know about it. Many United States schools have been experimenting with ways to speed up traditional college programs to reduce the burden. I'm going to say the burden, cost, and help students move into the. Is that how you say that word? I don't want to be out here saying the wrong word. Got y'all saying the wrong word. Burgeoning. No, that's really burgeoning. Describing something growing, expanding, developing rapidly. Burgeoning. Okay, I learned something. Speed up traditional college programs to reduce the burgeoning costs and help students move into the workforce faster. Some offer 3-year bachelor's degrees. I have been seeing that 3-year bachelor's degrees have been on the rise, have been coming up. Reducing the number of credits needed for a diploma by one quarter. Many more allow students to enroll in college classes while still in high school. But the breakneck pace of the fastest online programs concerns some academics who say there is a big difference in what students can learn in weeks or months compared with 3 or more years. The phenomenon, I learned what a phenomenon was in graduate school because I had to write papers that were consistent of phenomenons. And what are phenomenons? Phenomenons are like in this current moment or trending. Let me see if I'm right. Hold up, closing some of this stuff out. I'm gonna keep that up. So yeah, an observable fact or event. So in the current moment, an event, some highlighted, like and subscribe. The phenomenon sometimes referred to as degree hacking. That's why I was like hacking. I don't want to use that word. Degree hacking, college speed runs of hyper accelerated degrees have spawned a cottage industry of influencers making videos about how quickly they earn their degrees and encouraging others to follow suit. Let me find out. Y'all trying to watch these videos on how to get a fast degree. And no such thing. I'm just going to say that. No such thing. So if y'all wasting time watching these videos of people like, I guess him, they used him as an example. That ain't the way to go. And you don't need to be in college if you're trying to get 3-week degrees. Because, all right, would you want a 3-week doctor working on you? A doctor who went to school for 3 weeks? Would you want them to work on you? I'm gonna just do surgery on you. How long you been in medical school? It took me 3 weeks to complete my medical degree. Three who? 3 what? Oh no, I'm gonna go to another hospital, bro. Cause you know they'll do it. They'll do it. Y'all already know about the 2020 theoretical stuff. They'll do it. All right. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna stay on topic. But so making videos quickly, they earn their degrees and encouraging others to follow suit. All right. So this guy, Ryan Swap, delivers tips on how to finish an online degree quickly in a YouTube video courtesy of Ryan Swap. So supporters of the approach tout it as an affordable. Oh, that's what I had to say. Wait a minute. Pause. Time out. This is why I don't like people talking about higher education if they haven't went to school for it or worked in higher ed at all. It's hold on. All right. It's disrespectful to step into somebody's industry and you don't know nothing about it. So I'm not out here. I'm not trying to be like these financial whatever or medical whatever or whoever industry. I went to school for my industry. It's disrespectful that these people get views by means, whatever, I guess clickbait works. And they're saying, oh yeah, you can go to school and get a degree in 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, and trying to devalue common sense. I don't know, for me, coming from low income, coming from poverty, some of you who coming from different backgrounds, we all can relate, right, on the common ground here. College changed me for the better. College opened a lot of things, a lot of doors. College gave me a, like, I don't know if y'all experienced this, but being from a certain background, people view you as a certain way. You can go read studies. Like, people, if you go, like I said, I was in grad school. I'm reading about all this low income stuff, poverty people, and how they think and perceive people in low income and poverty typically. And this is research that is used, and like, they use this research like for training purposes. Like, when people work in government jobs, or they're like, these people are typically this, typically that, and it's like, whoa, yo, hold on. It's just like, yeah. So people have a certain perspective about people from certain income brackets, you can say, or sections in life. And so when people have those type of stigmas on you, and somebody like this, people like on these YouTube platforms who want to rush through college, it's kind of disrespectful, because, like, kids in low incomes don't get the best education, supposedly. They don't get the best tutors, supposedly. They don't even get tutors. I remember when I spoke to a class recently at the Boys and Girls Club. Shout out to the Boys and Girls Club. When I spoke at the Boys and Girls Club, I asked the kids in the classroom how many of them had tutors. Nobody raised their hand. And we just talked about tutors. And tutors are valuable. Underrated, very, very valuable. And he probably got the best education. This guy. He probably got a good education in elementary, middle school, high school. So yeah, he probably felt college wasn't worth it to him. You see what I'm saying? But I didn't have good education systems when I went to elementary, middle school, and high school. So college, I needed that. Like, I literally had special education IEP from elementary to high school. I needed to go to college. Literally, I was like, bruh, I look at stuff and I can't comprehend what I'm reading to you. Like, yeah, I need to go to college and better my skills. Duh. So when I see people like this, or whoever, making plenty of them on YouTube, it's kind of disrespectful. And it's disrespectful because people going to think that college is really not worth it. So we're going to keep going. Supporters of the approach tout it as affordable, convenient way for people to earn credentials they need for their careers. Others, including some online students and academic officials, express concern about what super accelerated students are missing and where they quick path to values degrees. Right here, I don't know who they're quoting. They quoted somebody. We want diplomas that mean something, said Marjorie Haas, president of the Council of Independent Colleges, very credible, which represents more than 600 liberal art colleges and universities. I would prefer to have some of these degrees called something other than a bachelor's. Nationally, it's hard to know exactly how many students are graduating so quickly. The National Center of Education Statistics estimates that 44% of students finish bachelor's degrees within 4 years, but doesn't offer number of shorter time periods. So the University of Maine Presque Isle campus has more than 3,000 students in its online Europace program. So WGU has something like that as well. Europace program. According to the school's president said the program is designed to help older, non-traditional students rapidly attain an affordable degree they may need for a raise, promotion, or new job. Students who don't need the traditional longer college experience on campus that many young adults crave, they literally just need a certificate to help their career, said Raymond Rice. I get that perspective. Okay. President of the Presque ISL campus. They really need to put a pronunciation on there for people like me. He said the program is open only to students aged 20 and older, in part to avoid competing with its traditional 4-year program on campus. Of the nearly 300 students who earned a bachelor's okay, we don't care about all that. We don't care about y'all little whatever y'all got right there. I want to get to the yeah. Where is it? All right. One reason some working adults can speed through the programs is that many have taken at least some college classes in the past and credits to transfer. More than 43 million students in the United States started college but never earned a degree, according to National Student Clearinghouse Research Center. Very credible as well. The online schools best known for accelerated degrees such as Maine's y'all gonna keep doing this to me until y'all can't no more. Maine's Presque Isle campus and Western Governors University also let students transfer in as many as 3/4 of the credits from non-traditional sources. And so they actually, WGU just did a partnership with Georgia technical colleges, and WGU does something similar to that. Like literally, you can get your degree, like and subscribe. You can get your degree in like, no kidding, like I'm gonna say like less than 4 years. But I got my degree. I just started a little late, but I got my degree in 3.5 years though, because I was under the articulation agreement. But let's go. It's not about me right now. And so as we keep going, the head of the New England Commission of Higher Education, which oversees the accreditation of the University of Maine system, interesting, told the Washington Post that he had never heard of students completing bachelor's degrees in only a few months. New England Commission of Higher Education. Guys, what am I talking about? Oh, no worry, I got you. Like and subscribe. The New England Commission of Higher Education. The New England Commission of Higher Education is a voluntary peer-based nonprofit membership organization that performs peer evaluation and accreditation of public and private universities and colleges in the United States and other countries. I think college is dumb. I don't think I should get a degree. I don't see the point. World education is a world thing. It's not just a United States thing. Man, we need help, man. It's a world thing, man. College is a world thing. I can take my bachelor's, master's degrees because they are accredited, respectfully accredited, and go to another country and work there if I wanted to. I can go work at colleges in other countries. I have to learn it, but it's all similar because America got their model of colleges from like the UK, like Germany and stuff. Like they got it from Europe. They modeled their higher education after Europe. History. Just saying. I'm just saying. Don't quote me. I believe it's Germany, but Europe for sure. Europe. I'm going to run with that. I will take the L. on that. As a matter of fact, I will Google that. That is it I'm looking for. God dang it, Harry, you're good. American higher education was initially modeled after British universities, Oxford and Cambridge, to train ministries, because most universities were founded as churches starting out. And there's another part, of course, for our people, Black people, we had got our own schools, which formed HBCUs, because they didn't want us to go to school with them. So we had to go to school somewhere else. That's what formed HBCUs. That's why Booker T. Washington formed the Tuskegee Institute. W.D. Du Bois did his thing on the liberal arts side, and why he went to Columbia. Man, I'm not trying to give a history lesson. I'm not trying to lecture, but you better stop listening to the internet. And as J. Cole say, pick up a book. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. So yeah, the head of New England Commission. I don't think the New England Commission is. I think it's a. I don't know if that's solely American. I don't know if it's in New England, but that part I don't know. But the New England Commission. Hold on, I'm gonna find that out. Well, it says it oversees accreditation, New England Commission. Let me see where it's at. It said, I think it says the purpose higher education accreditation in the United States, but is it, I guess, American? That's what I want to know. I get what it's for, but I don't know. I kind of want to go on a rabbit hole with y'all real quick. I kind of want to see something. I'm gonna bookmark this. Hold on. I'm bookmarking that. I didn't even have to say. It's great information. Just doing a little looking real quick. It looks very American. I could be wrong though. Could be wrong though. Hold on real quick. Yeah, these people are in America. No? We got a person from Boston. I could be. I think it's everywhere. Hold on. That's Virginia. Yeah, this is American, Vermont. But it says other places too. I'm gonna do my research on that. Didn't know about it. Learned something new with this though. But somebody, the head of New England Commission, said they never heard of nobody though completing a bachelor's degree in only a few months. They said that. Never heard of it. Either at Presque, like, yo, Henry, just learn how to pronounce it because I don't heard it myself. Oh wow.
Presque.
Y'all hear that? Presque.
Almost.
They saying in English it means almost, but presque. But either at Presque campus or any other career university. He said that is something his organization may decide to investigate. They about to get investigated. See, they get investigated. But if students are getting a bachelor's degree, a bachelorette degree in a few months, the commission could certainly inquire, is there integrity to the degree to be awarded, said Larry Scow, president of the commission. Shortly after Scow got off the phone with the Post, he said he called the campus to ask them to look into the issue. All right, so now we get into some more. It's a pretty thick article, so I'm going to skip around a little bit. I don't want to keep going too long on this, right? So we got this person right here we're going to talk about. They went to WGU. They said, wow, it's a long story about Serenity James of Atlanta. Completed 16 courses through an online learning platform in 22 days. That gave her most of the credit she needed for her bachelor's degree at WGU. Western Governors. She finished the remaining 13 classes in 2 months last year and spent 2.5 months earning a master's of business administration altogether. She said the degrees cost less than $9,000, which was covered by a scholarship her employer and federal Pell Grant. Western Governors, one of the largest colleges in the country with more than 194,000 students. did not respond to requests for interviews or additional data on how fast students finish. Wow. The nonprofit school's website says that students finish their bachelor's degree in an average of 2.5 years, but many finish significantly faster than that. All right. And then James, who has a 6-year-old daughter and a full-time job, says she never would have been able to attend a traditional college in person. She said she had little contact with her professors or fellow students, but was in touch regularly with mentors assigned to her about the college. They said they have that. But that's why you do online schooling, and you take what you can. You take what you can when you go to college and you do an online program. You take what you can, and you don't do full-time. If you know you have a kid and you know you got a full-time job, you take part-time, you do a part-time schedule in college. I'm not telling nobody how to go to school, but I'm just advising. Like, take 1 class per semester, take 2 classes per semester. I took 2 classes per semester in graduate school. I was not full-time in graduate school. Let's keep going. It's not about me. But they said some people on Reddit got on to Reddit forum for Western governors have pleaded with peers to stop bragging that they earned degrees in weeks and months. Then they said Reddit had to make a separate one so they didn't, the complaints, you know how Reddit get. So the head of the accreditor for Western governors says she is confident that the school complies with its standards. The school just has a different model that allows students to move at their own pace. And Selena Grace, president of the Northwest Commission on Colleges and Universities, students are demonstrating competency, Grace said. Historically, the education department has recommended that students spend at least 3 hours per credit hour for a traditional class, including classroom meetings and homework. So a typical 3-credit class might require 135 hours of work over a 15-week semester, but there is no equivalent time recommendation for competency-based courses. Some of the ultra-fast finishers have also sparked worries about cheating. Now, you got to be cheating. I'm going to be straight up. You got to be. Like, to work that fast, take that many classes, going at that rapid, like, if you that good, then why you ain't at Harvard or Yale or Columbia, or like, why you just not at a top tier school? You could be at a top tier community college, top tier university, top tier Ivy, whatever. Why did you go to WGU? No disrespect, but I can get my doctoral degree at WGU. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna go get my doctoral at WGU so I can get it in 2 months, 1 month. I'm gonna write a dissertation. I'm gonna write a doctoral dissertation in 1 month. This is what makes your degree the value. This is what the value in trying to devalue my degree, but ain't nobody devaluing my degree. I'm gonna devalue your school before you devalue my degree. That's how I feel. So they said that led one YouTuber to claim that Purdue had just made it impossible to get a bachelor's in 6 months at the school. So in January, Purdue Global stopped students from taking an unlimited number of classes in a term without permission in its Excel track program, citing concerns about academic integrity and the value of a Purdue Global degree. That led one YouTuber to claim that Purdue had just made it impossible to get a bachelor's degree in 6 months at the school, which I just said. And so pretty much like it be going around. That's why some people be trying to go to these schools, and like WGU, Purdue Global, all these online schools, just so they can hurry up and get their bachelor's degree or whatever degree they're trying to get. And I'm not against it. I see a lot of, because Purdue Global is part of the military, but I'm not against it. I'm just like, you're cheating yourself at the end of the day. And then you're trying to have conversations with people who actually, like me, got these bags under my eyes, red in my eyes from reading constantly, writing papers constantly, perfecting the craft constantly, spending hours on here breaking down why this is flawed or why this is credible, and you just want it overnight. Man, y'all better delete that Instagram. Y'all better delete that social media, man. It ain't fast, bro. Everything takes time. Everything at this point. Like and subscribe, man. Like and subscribe. Everything takes time. That's why I catch myself sometimes. I'm like, man, I'm not trying to read all this. Then I'm like, I gotta read all this, because sometimes I gotta read certain things because it can throw the whole live stream off if I skip through information that does not make sense. So I have to look at some of this. I have to. And so we have another one with who's this? Williams, the graduate of Maine's Your Pace program, who earned both her bachelor's and her master's degrees in 2024, is also selling advice. Early last year, she started helping people create course plans for the program in her spare time. She charges $99 to $199 per student. Like many of her clients, Williams has never been to the PERSC, how they say it, PERSC, Al's campus in northern Maine, but that will soon change. This year, Williams re-enrolled at the school for 5 weeks to earn a third degree. For 5 weeks to earn a third degree, an associate's degree in liberal art and liberal studies, mainly so she can update her knowledge of the school and walk in the school's graduations in May. School graduation in May. Williams says she is looking for it. Hold on, bro. She charges $99 to $199 per student to how you can skip through school fast. And this is why people like me who are genuinely doing what they're doing for a passion are struggling to market this product that I'm doing. This is why I'm struggling to market my product, because I'm not giving you shortcuts. I'm giving you real life example. I'm not giving you shortcuts. But all right. Yeah. Looking forward to attending graduation with her 22-year-old daughter. Like a mother. So that's it. So I want to stop at 1:30. It's 1:21. So I can end that on the dot, maybe 1:25. So we're gonna spend this last 9 minutes freestyling real quick. Something is in my eye. So look. Long eyelashes, man. So apparently they even put her stuff on the website. She got free advertisement from me. Wow. My services, free consult, straightforward one-time degree plan for students starting from scratch. What's included? Custom degree roadmap, a clear step-by-step plan tailored to your goals, program selection guidance, help choosing the right degree based on your interests and goals. Plotted Path Pro 199. Transfer credit evaluation, a detailed review of previous college credits, CLIP, ACE, or prior learning to ensure you get the maximum value towards your degree. What? Man, what college she worked in? Yeah, this is crazy. Maybe I should get me a consulting business now and just start charging people who are already struggling to pay for college and charge you $199 to go to school that's already charging you. Okay. I believe I should charge people, but at least let me earn my value and trust. Let them do it for free and let them build a testimony up, right? I don't know. I'm crazy. Maybe I'm too crazy for the world right now. Now I get business, but some things right there is just unacceptable. So let's look at this tuition and fees of this place, man. Because they have been a bit talk before we. So apparently they charge in-state, as I always say, they charge about 22 grand, 21,500 to be exact, but about 21,500 for direct costs. Indirect costs, that's travel. I don't know why they always put this on here because that stuff don't really be like. So 279 per credit hour. Cool. As you see how much they're charging. They are accredited. I hate to say it, they are accredited. But on a simple review, would I go to this school? Heck no. Would I go to this school? Heck no. I wouldn't go to it. I don't even like the name personally. I don't even care at that point. Like, it's just like, if y'all doing that, and then you got the New England Commission you got the New England Commission of Higher Education saying they're gonna investigate y'all, and like, hold on, you can get a degree in 3 weeks, 5 weeks. You crazy? Associate's degree in 5 weeks? All right, bro. So that's really it. Appreciate everybody stopping by, watching. Thank you. We are going to drop a pre-recorded review tomorrow. We're going to review a college. I'm going to find the college. It's going to be pre-recorded. Might be about 10 to 20 minutes max, hopefully. And yeah, you're going to have that video. I don't know what school yet, but that school will be something I feel like a good review, hopefully a good thumbnail. And then enjoy your Friday, because I won't see you Friday for the first time. So enjoy your Friday. Be safe. Walk in pairs. Do everything together. Study hard. If y'all need me to live stream, let me know in the comment section. Hey, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the morning, and I'm doing schoolwork, and I could use a live stream, and I'll just be on the live stream doing whatever, because it gets lonely at night when you're doing schoolwork and you by yourself. You get the computer like this. That's kind of why I like live streaming at night, because I know students, when they start watching us, they're going to be doing their schoolwork. So that's going to build another part of the community. And yeah. So peace, love, chicken grease. Remember, shout us out on all platforms that we're not on, because we're not on the typical social media platforms. We are on LinkedIn. Like and subscribe, and just tell people to come watch us, stop by, and support.